The sudden surge in oil prices and the dramatic declaration that a ceasefire is over just ripped through global markets today. This isn't just daily noise. It signals a critical, structural repricing of risk that every serious investor needs to understand right now. The Dow, S&P 500, and Nasdaq all felt the pressure. But what does this actually change for your portfolio's core insulation? Let's be clear. When oil surges and geopolitical tensions spike, the traditional moats of various asset classes are stress-tested. Commodities like crude oil, by their very nature, poses a unique supply-demand dynamic that can act as both an inflationary force and a geopolitical hedge. Their value proposition is intrinsically tied to real-world events, offering a different kind of insulation. But that's not the only signal. This market shift also forces us to reassess which equity sectors truly offer structural resilience. Think about utilities, consumer staples, or even certain industrial names with strong pricing power. Their operating segments and value propositions are designed for steadier demand, even amidst broader market volatility. They often represent a different kind of portfolio insulation. Here's where the margin metrics become interesting. A sustained surge in crude oil isn't just a headline, it's a direct input cost for nearly every industry. We are talking about transportation, manufacturing, and even agriculture. This puts immense pressure on corporate quarterly results, threatening to contract margins across broad swaths of the market. Now look at how sector profitability is diverging. While most companies grapple with higher energy expenses, the energy sector itself suddenly sees enhanced revenue metrics and potential margin expansion. This creates a significant capital rotation dynamic, where institutional money shifts towards areas directly benefiting from the inflationary impulse. We've seen this playbook before. The next signal comes from central bank management commentary. Policymakers, particularly the Federal Reserve, are now facing renewed inflation concerns just as they were contemplating rate cuts. Their execution strategy will be critical. Do they prioritize growth, or do they re-emphasize their inflation mandate? This choice has massive implications for capital allocation across all asset classes. Beyond central banks, corporate management teams are already adapting their strategies. We'll likely see a renewed focus on supply chain resilience and cost optimization, potentially even some nearshoring. Their corporate guidance will start reflecting these new input costs. Smart Capital is already looking for companies with proven ability to pass on costs without sacrificing demand. This leads us to a bigger question regarding the industry context. The macro environment just got a dose of geopolitical fuel. The ceasefire over declaration significantly alters the risk premium on oil, creating a new floor for prices. This isn't purely about economic demand anymore, it's about supply security and regional instability. The competitive landscape shifts dramatically. Companies reliant on stable, low-cost energy inputs face increased pressure. Conversely, energy producers, commodity traders, and even some defense contractors might see tailwinds. This is a fundamental change in sector advantage. Institutional capital must position for this reordering of the global economic chessboard. Let's talk about the risks. The primary vulnerability here is a systemic return of persistent inflation. Higher oil prices feed into everything, amplifying cost inflation across supply chains. This could force central banks into a hawkish stance for longer, creating systemic headwinds for growth-oriented assets and potentially leading to stagflationary pressures. Something important is happening here. The market also appears to be pricing in increased geopolitical contagion. Escalating tensions beyond a specific region could disrupt other critical supply routes or commodity markets. This regulatory pressure or potential for broader conflict represents a terminal risk that demands a deep asset insulation assessment. Gold, for instance, often comes into play here. Looking forward, earnings visibility becomes severely challenged for many sectors. This macro shock forces a fundamental valuation reassessment across the board. Assets that thrived in a low inflation, low-rate environment will face headwinds, while those offering real asset exposure or robust pricing power might find new favor. The market is repricing, not just reacting. This isn't a quarterly hiccup, it's a potential shift in the multi-year thesis for global markets. We could be entering a sustained period of higher commodity prices and elevated geopolitical risk premium. Investors need to consider a strategic pivot towards capital preservation and inflation hedging assets, moving beyond short-term tactical trades to build long-term structural momentum. So, what's the tactical review? We see breakout watch in sectors with direct commodity leverage, like energy, and potentially precious metals like gold. On the flip side, we are considering trim consideration for high-multiple growth equities with limited pricing power or consumer discretionary names vulnerable to reduced spending power. This is about capital rotation into genuine asset insulation. The takeaway for sophisticated investors is clear: the macro landscape just got significantly more complex. Asset insulation and strategic positioning are paramount. Don't get caught reacting to headlines, understand the structural shifts. For more institutional-grade analysis and deep dives into what's truly moving markets, make sure you subscribe to SR Money News. We are here to help you navigate these turbulent waters.